that a great one lies in a version of what Joy said, and that is the appalling lack of knowledge and education among American Jews. The basic illiteracy in Hebrew, in text, in synagogue skills. I'm just continually astonished every time I go to a synagogue outside of my own or the Upper West Side how little people participate, and that we have created a synagogue structure that enables that, actually kind of sanctifies that. So the rabbis say the prayers in Hebrew very quickly because they know that nobody in the congregation is going to be saying them with them. And I think above all we are the people of the book, and I think the fact that we have placed as a community so little priority on giving good education to ourselves and to our children harms our relationship with Israel. If you don't understand Israel and the culture and the language, it's hard to understand it and feel connected to it in any way other than a sort of silly romantic way. And I think we haven't done enough to perpetuate these skills in the next generation. All of that said, if I may, just since I'm the last one on trying to answer this question, I would just like to turn this around a little bit and also say that I think your profession, like my profession, is suffering from a major lack of confidence. Confidence in what we do and what our future is. And I mean, if you think that you're worried about where the rabbinate will be 10 or 20 years from now, I'm part of a profession that has probably lost tens of thousands of jobs already. I left journalism a few years ago and then came back into it to edit the forward. I think I'm probably the only editor in America who went back into journalism. And so it's tough out there. And that said, one of the things that I have learned in the last couple of years, that even though we have to go digital and we have to have video and we have to do all these bells and whistles, and even though the whole kind of civic conversation has gotten so corrupted by Facebook and Twitter, even though all of that, content still is king. Content rules. Still the best stories, the most thoughtful and provocative essays are the ones that we remember and that change our lives. And I just had the opportunity last week to be at the Society for Professional Journalists conference and was at the awards dinner, and it was really inspiring to see the work of colleagues all over the country, some of them operating in very small venues and under really difficult circumstances doing good journalism. I'm sure the same is true in your profession. We just did a wonderful series that, if you haven't read, you must, called The Cost of Belonging by Josh Nathan Kazis. And it just tried to ask a simple question, which is, how much does it cost to belong to a synagogue versus how much does it cost to belong to a church? And we found out all sorts of really, really interesting and unexpected things. One of the things I just want to leave with is that, the Christian leaders and academics whom we talked to said that one of the reasons that rabbis are paid more than their Christian counterparts, and yes, you are generally paid much more than Christian ministers and priests, is because rabbis have a status in the Jewish community above that of their clergy in relative communities. That status still exists, even with all the issues that we have just raised here. And I think it's important not to lose sight of that.